Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to tap that bell icon to be notified every time a new video is released. Thanks!
Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePauli, and in today's House of Mouse headlines, Mickey's throwing a big 90th birthday celebration, Disneyland Paris is getting a major expansion, some controversy surrounding Frozen 2, and so much more. So let's get to it.
Hear the latest news from the Walt Disney Company in today's House of Mouse headlines.
Okay, on November 18th, Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse will be turning 90 years old because the premiere of Steamboat Willie was on November 18th, 1928, which was their first appearance on the big screen. And this is going to become part of a huge celebration the Walt Disney Company is throwing called Mickey, the True Original. And they'll be celebrating this worldwide. It will begin on March 7th with the Happiest Show on Earth, which will be a runway fashion show featuring Mickey and Minnie inspired merchandise. In the fall, ABC will be throwing a TV special, very much like their holiday specials that they have, or their Disneyland 60th anniversary special. They're bringing a lot of guest artists and stuff, so we have that to look forward to in the fall. Disney Channel Season 5 of the Mickey Mouse Shorts will begin, and they're going to even have an extended birthday episode. In the parks worldwide on November 18th, of course, we'll be having a big celebration on the actual birthday of Mickey and Minnie. Toward the end of 2018 and into 2019, they'll be having the world's biggest mouse party, saluting Mickey and Minnie in the parks worldwide. Disney on Ice is even getting in on the fun with a 90th birthday pre-show for their existing shows, and Disney on Ice will be creating a new show called Mickey's Special Celebration, which will premiere in July 2018 in Japan. Of course, Disney Store will have some specialty merch for the event. Disney Publishing Worldwide will be releasing 30 titles globally for the event. Disney animator Mark Henn is going to be creating Mickey's official 90th portrait, which I would imagine is a great honor for an animator at the Walt Disney Company. This portrait will debut on the cover of Disney 23 magazine, which you receive if you're a D23 member, and also part of D23 Destination D, which they have on the off years from the D23 Expo over at Walt Disney World, will be celebrating Mickey Mouse 2-day event at Walt Disney World. That's a lot of Mickey celebrating going on, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, we've been talking about Pixar Fest for a while here, which will begin on April 13th at the Disneyland Resort, but up until now, we didn't really have an end date for this. It has been officially announced that the end date for Pixar Fest will be September 3rd, so it's April 13th through September 3rd, so a nice summer-long celebration of all of those special Pixar events happening at the Disneyland Resort. So if you have a chance, make sure you visit between April 13th and September 3rd of this year. Of course, some of the big events for Pixar Fest are Paint the Night Parade heading over to Disney California Adventure and Pixar Play heading to the Disneyland Park. And because of this, they've created some dining packages for premium viewing of these parades. They have a Carthay Circle restaurant or Wine Country Trattoria dining package for Paint the Night. You can also get a Sonoma Terrace parade reception, which is viewing from Sonoma Terrace at Disney California Adventure, with some desserts and other things added in there. And then for Pixar Play Parade, you can dine over at Plaza Inn, and you'll get a voucher for a viewing spot for the Pixar Play Parade at Disneyland. Now, over at Disney California Adventure, the Food and Wine Festival has already begun. This will be going through April 12th, so basically right up until Pixar Fest begins. And of course, there's a lot of different food stations for the Food and Wine Festival there, including Nuts About Cheese, LA Style, The Brew House, California Craft Brews, Peppers Caliente, Uncork California, Strawberry Patch, Avocado Time, Eat Your Greens, Citrus Grove, I Heart Artichokes, Cluckadoodle Moo, that's probably my favorite name, Off the Cob, Garlic Kissed, Festival Beer Garden, and Paradise Garden Grill. All of those can be found at the Disney California Adventure Food and Wine Festival. Now, hopping over to the other coast, the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival is currently going on. Of course, there they have tons of food, beverages, outdoor kitchens, tours, exhibits, and my favorite part, the topiaries. I think it adds so much to Epcot having those topiaries all around the park. I kind of wish they were just always there. I get it, it makes them special since they're part of the special event, but I don't know, I love them. Speaking of Epcot, the Stave Church Gallery inside the Norway area of Epcot is actually going to be going through a bit of a transition. Right now, they have an inspiration for Disney's Frozen exhibit going on in there, and that's going to be closing on March 12th. Now, the new exhibit's called Gods of the Vikings, and it's going to be discussing the origins of Thor, Odin, Loki, and others. And no, it's not the Marvel characters you're thinking of. These are the actual gods that they'll be telling us about. So I, at first, thought, oh my goodness, like, I get it. We're taking out Frozen, which was a huge controversial thing, putting that in Norway to begin with. But I'm like, I think putting Marvel's even more controversial. That's not what they're doing. So at least that's what I read. It's not what they're doing. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow fit it in there a little bit. But it's going to be more of an actual Norway exhibit there from now on. Now, happening over at the Magic Kingdom, if you're a fan of Be Our Guest restaurant, it's going to get a little bit more expensive there to enjoy dinner. Don't worry, this will not affect the breakfast or lunch menus, which have always been the cheapest options anyway. But beginning July 27th for the dinner menu, they're going to start with a prefixed meal type of pricing, and you're gonna have a 3-course meal. It's gonna be $55 for adults and $35 for children. If you're using the dining plan, this restaurant now went from 1 table service to 2 table service credits. So it's definitely going up, but the good news is it's really only affecting dinner for the most part. Now, an event that makes me laugh, there's going to be a new event called Disney Springs Saturdays, which is going to happen the second Saturday of each month. And this is an annual pass holder exclusive for Walt Disney World, where you gain early shopping access to the World of Disney store 1 hour before regular guests from 9 to 10 a.m. I find this kind of interesting because I know World of Disney is going through some construction right now, so I don't know, maybe this is to make up for the loss that they'll have during construction, but I also feel like it'll just make it more difficult to have a special event like this during construction. So it seems like an interesting time to do it. They say you'll also get a few unexpected surprises when you're there. Now, don't just show up for this if you're an annual pass holder. There is registration required. Of course, the first one already sold out, but it'll be every month, so you have many, many more opportunities to do this. I just love how Disney is so good at making an event out of spending money on merchandise. Now, of course, Black Panther is dominating the box office. Everybody is loving it, and in a recent conference in New York, Bob Iger said, quote, "No, we haven't had a chance to build a ride, though I'm sure there are people who are working on it," end quote. And of course, this got the Twitterverse and everybody getting very excited about this, and basically people assuming that a Black Panther ride is going to come. I don't know, we shall see. I will say, Bob Iger tends to know what he's talking about. That's one of the things about Bob Iger that I really expect when you listen to the shareholder meetings and stuff, and people just ask him random questions. He really, and it's his job to do so. He gets paid a lot of money to know this much, but he seems to really know his business. So if he said it, my guess is there's probably something in the works. Of course, the lines just to meet Black Panther at Disney California Adventure are consistently very long. So this doesn't surprise me at all. And of course, the box office numbers prove it. People are loving this movie. Now, we did get a big announcement out of Disneyland Paris about a €2 billion multi-year expansion. I'm happy to see that the Walt Disney Company is pouring money into Disneyland Paris, especially since all of these changes are going to be taking place at the Walt Disney Studios Park. And it's pretty well known among Disney fans that that is the worst Disney theme park out there. So the fact that they're dumping money into that and trying to make that a better place, I think that's good news. I'm not thrilled with what they're doing. They're making a Marvel area and a Frozen area and a Star Wars area. Doesn't sound super original, but who knows? Maybe we'll get very original areas out of this and new attractions. That would be my hope, is that it's not like just copycat stuff from other parks. But regardless, I think anything done to that park is a plus, so that's really great. These 3 areas will be connected by a new lake that they'll be building as well. So it sounds like a pretty big expansion to the park. Of course, previously they announced the whole takeover of Marvel over the Rock and Roller Coaster over there. So this is just kind of even more of that heading that way. Now for some very unexpected theater news that this came out of left field. Beauty and the Beast was the first Broadway musical for Disney. And the star of Beauty and the Beast was Susan Egan, who Disney fans know as the voice of Meg from the animated film Hercules, but she was actually the first Belle on Broadway as well. So it's been announced that Five Star Theatricals in Thousand Oaks, California will be doing a production of Beauty and the Beast with the original star of the show, Susan Egan, in the role of Belle from July 20th through July 29th. This is a very short run. This is very random. And I love everything about it. I'm really hoping I get a chance to go. I'm not sure if I will yet, but it sounds kind of epic. I never did get to see Susan Egan in the role. I saw it, the national tour of it, and then later saw it in Broadway years later after she had left the show. But I think this is really cool and random. Very random, but I love it. Speaking of live shows, the Muppets, who had a mega hit of a show last year at the Hollywood Bowl, it was called Muppets Take the Bowl, is now doing a show at the O2 Arena in London. It is a 2-night run on July 13th and 14th of this year. So if you're over in London on the other side of the ocean, go check out the Muppets at the O2 Arena. I didn't go to the Hollywood Bowl show, but I heard nothing but rave reviews about it. Having seen the Muppets live several times, I love it. They put on such a great show, and I've been saying for a long time, I want to see the Muppets on Broadway. I think they could do a sit-down show there for an extended time and be a mega, mega hit. So I love seeing more of these live shows coming up and being so successful. Maybe this is the road to Broadway for them. Speaking of Broadway, Frozen the Musical, which is currently in previews on Broadway, released another new song. This one's called What Do You Know About Love? And it's a song between Anna and Kristoff. And it's basically a battle of the philosophies that they have about love. For me personally, I didn't love this song as much as the one that they released the previous week, which was Monster, which was Elsa's song. But that's just because I'm a ballad boy. I like powerhouse ballads much more than I like up-tempo songs, and this is definitely a more up-tempo song. There was a really fun moment in there where Kristoff asks, what color eyes does he have? Referring to Hans, and Anna's response was dreamy, which I think is a really funny line. So yeah, more new music from Frozen the Musical, and I believe they're going to keep releasing new songs in the following weeks as well. Now for a story that comes with a bit of controversy surrounding it. There's always been a lot of conversation about the lead female character of Frozen, Elsa, and whether or not she has a female love interest. And this is becoming more and more of a conversation with Frozen 2 approaching. And Jennifer Lee, the co-director of Frozen and Frozen 2, recently did an interview with the Huffington Post where she said, we're, quote, actively thinking about the proposition, end quote. She by no means said that this is a guarantee for the character. She's just saying we're keeping our options open and they're putting some thought into it. Now on this show, I give my opinion about the recent news. You can agree, you can disagree with me, that's fine. I don't tend to get super political on here, but every once in a while, something comes along that I feel like something needs to be said about. So here's my opinions on this whole situation with Elsa in Frozen 2. I am fine with Elsa having a female love interest or not having a female love interest in Frozen 2. These characters, they're invented by people who ultimately are the ones who get to decide their fate. I personally voice my opinion a lot about what I think should and should not be done in the field of entertainment, but I respect the artist's ultimate vision if the choices being made for these characters come from a place of storytelling. I don't believe that stories should be influenced by what the fans want, or because it would sell a lot of consumer products, or because it would make a great theme park ride. The story is where it all begins and where it should end. The story is the most important part of the creative endeavor. If it's ultimately decided that Elsa does not have a female love interest in Frozen 2, I hope that we won't hear comments from people saying that this is a sign of Disney not recognizing the LGBTQ community. I truly don't think that will be the reason why. When the decision is made in either case, I hope it's because they're telling Elsa's true story. On the flip side, I saw a lot of controversy on social media from people saying that they will boycott the film if Elsa is a lesbian. That Disney's doing a disservice showing this lifestyle to children. To those who feel that way, I must say, please, join us in the 21st century. That is no longer an acceptable way to feel and never should have been an acceptable way to feel. If you're still around 50 years from now, I'm sure you'd be embarrassed by the way your thinking is portrayed in the history books. It's never acceptable to discriminate against a group because they were born different from you. Of course, you're entitled to your own opinions, but I beg of you, please, don't push those opinions onto your children. I'm not a parent, but I've heard from many parents and believe that if you have a child, more than anything in the world, what you want for your child is to be happy and feel like they can talk to you about anything. Just imagine your child was born gay and you don't know it. What you're doing by telling them that they can't see a movie because the lead character is gay is very harmful to your child, this person that you love unconditionally. If your child discovers they're gay and only knows of their parents shielding them from it, they'll never feel comfortable enough to approach you with the subject and therefore never live their truth, which is the key to true happiness. By young children seeing a gay couple in a movie, it does not turn them gay any more than a gay person seeing a straight couple on a screen turns them straight. Homosexuality is genetic, and discriminating against the way a person is born is just wrong. See this as an opportunity to do better. I know, who am I? I'm not a parent, I'm simply a podcast host. If I've offended any of you, I truly apologize, but I believe that if we just love and respect one another for who we are, we'll all leave this world a better place. On to some more movie news. I'm excited to say that Bryan Cranston, who I'm a huge fan of and who most people know from Breaking Bad, has joined Angelina Jolie and Sam Rockwell in the film The One and Only Ivan, based on the book by Katherine Applegate. Now, in the film, Angelina Jolie's character is an elephant and Sam Rockwell's is a gorilla. And the gorilla doesn't know his life before being trapped inside of a mall. Bryan Cranston's the mall owner. But then this elephant character, played by Jolie, comes in and starts to let him know about the world outside of this mall, and he starts to have memories of that, and of course, they try to break out. So, I'm not familiar with this book personally, but anything that Bryan Cranston's in, I will go and see. Now for some Disney Junior news that's sure to make a lot of Disney fans happy. It has been announced that The Rocketeer, yes, that long-forgotten film, maybe not forgotten by Disney film, it seemed like, is going to be an animated series in 2019 on Disney Junior. This was a little surprising to me, not about The Rocketeer being rebooted as much as it going to Disney Junior. I always felt like The Rocketeer was more of an adult film, personally. I was never a huge fan of it. I saw it as a kid on Disney Channel, didn't love it. Saw it a few years ago as an adult, once again, didn't love it. Sorry, I know a lot of you guys do love it. But this is going to be based more on the comic books, and actually the lead character who will be playing the Rocketeer is going to be a young girl named Kit. So they're definitely going in a different direction with it, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Now, the TV series Once Upon a Time is currently in its final season, but this season they've added a character from the Disney parks, and that character is Madame Leota from the Haunted Mansion. I think this is kind of cool. I definitely dropped this show a long time ago. I lost interest in it. I don't think the quality held up at all, personally, but I do think the introduction of Madame Leota sounds pretty cool. I don't believe, although somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe they've brought in characters from theme park attractions until now. So this is a bit of surprising news to me, but please, if they did, let me know in the comments below on YouTube. I'd love to hear what other Disney theme park characters were part of Once Upon a Time. Now for some news that's a big shot of nostalgia. Disney and McDonald's will be teaming up once again as part of the Happy Meal plans, and improving the nutrition of these Happy Meal plans is a big part of it. It's going to be a cross-promotion, of course, McDonald's with their Happy Meals and Disney with those toys and such that come with the Happy Meals, promoting their movies. Now, I remember this as a kid. I, in fact, still have Honey, I Shrunk the Kids collectible cups from McDonald's, but several years back, Disney pulled away from McDonald's Happy Meals because of the, how unhealthy the food was for children, but McDonald's is made some big changes in that realm, and they're really working together to make sure that the Happy Meals are more nutritional for the children, and we get the McDonald's Disney toys back in the Happy Meals. That's a win. That's going to do it for the news this week. I want to give a big shout out to Electric Caterpillar, whose jazz band will soon be playing at Disneyland. Congratulations to you, Electric Caterpillar. That's very exciting. I hope you have a great time there. Guys, if you want a shout out on the show, it's so easy. Head to iTunes, leave a 5-star review and rating there, and I will give you a shout out on the show, no problem whatsoever. As part of the conversation this past week, I asked you on this past Wednesday's episode, if you could change the name of Disney's Hollywood Studios to anything, what would you choose? Rio Nakazawa actually likes Disney Cinemagine Park, so a lot of us complain about it, but Rio says, I like Disney Cinemagine Park, let's make it that. And Edgar Pinato says, Disney Hollywood Magic. I could see that, that works. That works for me, that's cool. Guys, if you want to join the conversation, make sure you check out our Wednesday episodes on YouTube and leave a comment there with your answer to whatever question we asked that week. Of course, there was a Twitter poll as well this week asking, which of the following song options from Disney attractions is your favorite? It's a Small World, Grim Grinning Ghosts, Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, or Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for me. Now, guys, you made me so happy with this vote. I gotta tell you, it shocked me, but I was thrilled. It's a Small World that came in last place with only 9% of the votes. Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me with only 17% of the votes. And then Grim Grinning Ghost was with 33% of the votes. And number one, Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow from the Carousel of Progress wins with 41% of the votes. I love that. That would have been my choice as well. So thanks for being part of that. Of course, if you want to be part of the Twitter poll, follow Disney Coast to Coast on Twitter with the username @DisneyCTC. That's DIZNEYCTC. This past week, I also had my first live stream for the Patreon supporters of Disney Coast to Coast. If you'd like to join us in future live streams, head over to patreon.com/DCTC or head to DisneyCoastToCoast.com and click on that Patreon tab there. Also, it's March, which means there's a brand new music playlist out there from Disney Coast to Coast, so make sure you join over at DisneyCoastToCoast.com to receive that in your inbox. I also want to remind you that the Academy Awards are on tonight. Disney has some nice representation there, including Coco for Best Animated Feature, Star Wars and Beauty and the Beast have several nominations, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 has a nomination. There's a lot of great Disney nominations, so if you're listening to this on the first day that it comes out on Sunday, March 4th, 2018, enjoy the Academy Awards this evening, and have a magical day, everybody. Bye!
Thanks for watching Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Disney Coast to Coast is produced and hosted by Jeff DePauli. Learn more about the podcast and become a supporter at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.